All right, so we were talking about translation. So shifting our functions up and our functions down and our functions right and our functions left. So let's just start with this first parent function of a quadratic. So this is a quadratic function because we have an x squared. We're not going to get really into that, but we're going to work on translating it up and down and then to the right and to left. So the first one I want to do is I want to translate it up 4. That means I'm going to take my output values and I'm going to add 4. So my output values currently are just x squareds. So if I want to add 4 to that, it's going to be x squared plus 4. So I'm going to use my vertical translations of my f of x plus k. So this one right over here. So since I want it to go up 4, I'm going to add 4 to f of x, which f of x is x squared. Oops. So now since k is 4, I have k determining to be 4. So that means when I do that, it's going to shift it up 4. Let's say I wanted to move it down 2. So I want to take the x squared and I want to move it down 2. So it's going to have a y-intercept of negative 2. I'm going to change k to negative, too far, negative 2. Now it shifts the parent function f of x squared down 2. So we're taking our f of x and then we're adding or subtracting a number to move it in that direction. So if we're adding, we're moving it up. If we're subtracting, we're moving it down. Now, but we can also move it to the left and to the right. So that means we're going to be changing our x value before it gets put into the function. So this is going to be my other function of f of x plus h, which h isn't a number, but we want to move it to the left or to the right. Now, what's actually happening with my horizontal translations is it's doing opposite of what I think. Because let's say I add 2. Let's say I have x is 0, so right here, and I'm adding 2. I'm going to be putting this, so since I'm going to be putting this value of outputs when x is 0 now. So it's going to be over here. So it's doing opposite of what I think. So if I want to add 2, or I'm sorry, not add 2. Let's just say if I want to shift it to the right 2, well, then that's doing opposite of what I need to do. So I need to actually shift it. So if I want to shift it to the right 2, that means I'm going to need to subtract 2. And we can see that when we go like that. So now my graph has shifted to the right 2. If I want to shift it to the left, that means that I'm actually going to be adding, let's go to move it to the right 4. I'm going to be adding 4 to my x value because I'm taking the previous outputs and now putting them at a new spot. And I can actually do this, I can do this both at the same time. So if I have f of x plus h plus k, notice how it's using the k and the h from before, and I'm going to get rid of these other ones. So since my k is negative 2, that means I'm moving down 2. So that's what it did. It moved it down 2. Then h went to the left 4 by adding 4. So it went to the left 4. There. And then I can do the same thing. I can change k. I can move it up. Or I can move it to the left, to the right, moving it around. Remember that when you're adding, if you have f of x, and then you're adding something, that means it's going up or down. If you have f and then in parentheses x plus a number, it's moving to the left and to the right, and it's doing opposite of what we think.